जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी
राधा माधव कुंज विहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी
जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
यशोदनन्दनं व्रजजनरञ्जन
यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन
यशोदनन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन
यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन
यशोदनन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन
यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन
यशोदनन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन
यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन
यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन
यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन
यमुनातीरवनचारी
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 राधा माधव कुंज विहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी
राधा माधव कुंज विहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी
गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
यशोदनन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन
यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन
यशोदनन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन
यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन
यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन
यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन
यमुनातीरवनचारी
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 राधा माधव कुंज विहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya. ते सुंदर शोभितं जीवेमते सुंदर हास शोभितम् अपश्यमाना वदनं मनोहरम् अपश्यमाना वदनं मनोहरम् इति चोदीरिता वाचः इति चोदीरिता वाचः प्रजानां भक्तवत्सलः प्रजानां भक्तवत्सलः शृण्वानो अनुग्रहं दृष्ट्या शृण्वानोऽनुग्रहं दृष्ट्या वितन्वन् प्राविशत् पुरं वितन्वन् प्राविशत् पुरम् कथं वयं नाथ चिरोषिते त्वयि प्रसन्नदृष्ट्याखिलतापशोषणम् जीवेम ते सुन्दरहासशोभितम् अपश्यमानावदनं मनोहरम् इति चोदीरिता वाचः प्रजानां भक्तवत्सलः शृण्वानोऽनुग्रहं दृष्ट्या वितन्वन् प्राविशत् पुरम् कथं वयं नाथ चिरोषिते त्वयि प्रसन्नदृष्ट्याखिलतापशोषणम् जीवेम ते सुन्दरहासशोभितम् अपश्यमानावदनं मनोहरम् चोदीरिता वाचः प्रजानां भक्तवत्सलः ग्रहं दृष्ट्या कथं वयं नाथ चिरोषिते त्वयि प्रसन्नदृष्ट्याखिलतापशोषणम् मते सुन्दरहासशोभितम् अभज्यमानावदनं मनोहरम् इति चोदीरिता वाचः प्रजानां भक्तवत्सलः शृण्वानोऽनुग्रहं दृष्ट्या वितन्वन् प्राविशत् पुरम् कथं वयं नाथ चिरोषिते त्वयि प्रसन्नदृष्ट्याखिलतापशोषणम् जीवेम ते सुन्दरहासशोभितम् अपश्यमानावदनं मनोहरम् इति चोदीरिता वाचः प्रजानां भक्तवत्सलः शृण्वानोऽनुग्रहं दृष्ट्या वितन्वन् प्राविशत् पुरम् कथं वयं नाथ चिरोषिते त्वयि प्रसन्नदृष्ट्याखिलतापशोषणम् जीवेम ते सुन्दरहासशोभितम् अपश्यमानावदनं मनोहरम् इति चोदीरिता वाचः प्रजानां भक्तवत्सलः शृण्वानोऽनुग्रहं दृष्ट्या वितन्वन् प्राविशत् पुरम् कथं हाउ वयं we नाथ O Lord चिरोषिते being abroad almost always त्वयि by you prasanna satisfaction drishtya by the glance akhila universal tapa miseries shoshanam vanquishing jivema shall be able to live. Te, your, Sundara, beautiful, Hasa, smiling, Shobhitam, decorated, Apashyamanaha, without seeing, Vadanam, face, Manoharam, attractive, Iti, thus, Cha, and, Udiritaha, speaking, Vachaha, words, Prajanam, of the citizens, Bhaktavatsalaha, kind to the devotees, Shrinvanaha, thus learning, Anugraham, kindness, Drishtya, by glances, Vitanvan, distributing, Pravishat, entered, Puram, Dwarkapuri. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. O Master, if you live abroad all the time, then we cannot look at your attractive face, whose smiles vanquish all our sufferings. How can we exist without your presence? Upon hearing their speeches, the Lord, who is very kind to the citizens and the devotees, entered the city of Dwaraka and acknowledged all their greetings by casting his transcendental glance over them. Please repeat. O Master, if you live abroad all the time, then we cannot look at your attractive face, whose smiles vanquish all our sufferings. How can we exist without your presence? Upon hearing their speeches, the Lord, who is very kind to the citizens and the devotees, entered the city of Dwaraka and acknowledged all their greetings by casting his transcendental glance over them. Purport. Lord Krishna's attraction is so powerful that once being attracted by him, one cannot tolerate separation from him. Why is this so? Because we are all eternally related with him as the sun rays are eternally related with the sun disk. The sun rays are molecular parts of the solar radiation. Thus, the sun rays and the sun cannot be separated. The separation by the cloud is temporary and artificial, and as soon as the cloud is cleared, the sun rays again display their natural effulgence in the presence of the sun. Similarly, the living entities who are molecular parts of the whole spirit are separated from the Lord by the artificial covering of Maya, illusory energy. This illusory energy or the curtain of Maya has to be removed. And when it is so done, the living entity can see the Lord face to face, and all his miseries are at once removed. Every one of us wants to remove the miseries of life, but we do not know how to do it. The solution is given here, and it rests on us to assimilate it or not. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। In this chapter, we are seeing Lord Krishna is entering the Dwarka city after settling the issue of the Pandavas with their cousins. And the citizens are offering prayers. So here what prayer is being offered? Katham vayam natha chiroshite tvai. Lord Krishna was traveling abroad. And because of this, the citizens of Dwarka, they were feeling immense separation from the Lord. And Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport, Lord Krishna's attraction is so powerful that once being attracted by him, one cannot tolerate separation from him. Why is this so? Then Srila Prabhupada explains a very unique comparison, which is beyond our scientific understanding. Prabhupada explains, because we are all eternally related with him as the sun rays are eternally related with the sun disk. The sun rays are molecular parts of the solar radiation. And then Prabhupada tells, thus the sun rays and the sun cannot be separated. Prabhupada tells sun rays and sun cannot be separated. We understand it is a fact. But here Prabhupada further tells, the separation by the cloud is temporary and artificial. And as soon as the cloud is cleared, the sun rays again display their natural effulgence in the presence of the sun. So Prabhupada means to explain that the cloud separates the sun rays from the sun, although this separation is artificial. As soon as cloud is removed, the sun rays, the molecular portions of the solar radiation, regain their effulgence. Now this is beyond our comprehension. What we have understood is that the sun rays travel and the clouds obstruct. They absorb and they scatter the sun rays. But never we have heard or we can comprehend that the sun rays are separated from the sun by the cloud. And when the cloud is removed, the sun rays regain their effulgence. So it appears that sun rays are still existing beyond the clouds, but they become invisible. So this is different from the science which we have studied so far. So how do we understand this? Sun rays are separated from the cloud or sun rays stop at the cloud? Yeah, it is not clear to me also. That is why we are discussing. It is not clear to anyone. What is this science? The clouds block the sun rays or they separate sun rays from the sun? What do clouds do? They block. Block and separate also. So there is a portion of sun ray which is below the cloud, another portion is above the cloud, and cloud separates. Yes? So our sciences are extremely, extremely limited. But we think that we are very wise. This is called Koop Manduk Nyaya. Koop Manduk means frog in the well logic. We know Dr. Frog's story. Among the frog also there was a PhD. He was Dr. Frog. So he was most respected in the frog community. This story also we have read in our schools. In the poetry of Lal Bujakkad. You have read? Lal Bujakkad? How many of us have read Lal Bujakkad? Oh, not many. Only one. Others do not know Lal Bujakkad. So Lal Bujakkad was also the wisest man in the village. So one very famous poet, he has composed poetry and very wonderfully has explained the limitations of our wisdom and our perception. So any trouble was there in the village, the villagers would go to Lal Bujakkad to get solution of the problems. So in the village you have many, many animals. But then the villagers had never seen an elephant. So one night it so happened some elephant from somewhere crossed the village. And when the villagers got up in the morning, they saw huge footprints of the elephant, huge impressions. So they could not understand what is this. They had never seen such footprints. So the whole village is puzzled that what has this happened? Who has crossed our village? So they told one person can tell this. Who is that? Lal Bujakkad. So Lal Bujakkad also got to know something has happened in the village, and he was very eager to give his counsel. But then he was waiting. Unless people ask, how can I, take the center stage? So he was waiting, and then the villagers approached, and then he was very eager. He came out. He told, yes, I will explain. And Lal Bujakkad goes to the place, and he analyzes very nicely the footprints, the impressions. And then Lal Bujakkad tells, yes, I have got to know what is the mystery. So then there are beautiful lines written in the vernacular. It says, Lal Bujakkad bujh gaya, bujh na paya koe. Lal Bujakkad has understood what nobody could understand. And what is that? Paira ma chakki bandh ke hirana kuda hoye. For those who could not understand, Lal Bujakkad understood. What did he understand? Paira ma chakki bandh ke. Chakki means the hand mill, that was used to grind the wheat. So paira ma chakki bandh ke. So a hiran, a deer, has fastened the chakki, the mechanical mill, onto his feet, and he has jumped across the field. This is what has happened. This is called Lal Bujakkad philosophy. So Lal Bujakkad has got no experience of elephant, so he cannot fathom that there is a species like elephant who has crossed. But they want to tie everything to their limited perception. I have seen deer, I have seen the hand mill, chakki. So something which is impossible, they will give that explanation, just like we are discussing Big Bang. No creation has happened because of any bang. So many bangs keep on happening. We only see destruction. But then they tell something extraordinary has happened. So thus, we should not tie the reality with the limited perception or understanding of the world that we have got. So although we perceive that we are very advanced in our sciences, but over and over again, the Vedas have explained their supremacy over the limited scientific knowledge that we have got. When the world was not able to understand that plants have got life, Vedas always explain plants have life. Vedas have gone to the extent of explaining how many senses plants have. We have got 5 knowledge acquiring senses. In Vedas it is told plants have 3 knowledge acquiring senses. Plants also have visual sense. Plants also can hear. They also can feel touch. But they don't feel taste. And they cannot smell. But they have 3 sense perceptions, it is told. How can they understand? The embryology, which was discovered by ultrasonography technique, which has been invented decades ago. It was mentioned in the Vedas. In Bhagavatam we see how the embryo grows in the womb, the development day by day, week on week. It is explained very nicely, systematically. So that is why Alfred North Whitehead, the famous British mathematician, he said, the vastest knowledge of today cannot transcend the buddhi of the rishis of ancient India. And the science in its most advanced stage now is closer to Vedanta than ever before, is closer to Vedic knowledge than ever before. So this person has no affiliation. We might be having a bias that we have been brought up in Sanatan Dharma, so we are praising it. But this Britisher, they ruled India for 200 years. Why would he appreciate the knowledge of a third world country? But he's telling, he is the number 1 mathematician, that the vastest knowledge of today cannot surpass the buddhi of the rishis of India. And science in its most advanced stage now is closer to Vedas than ever before, he's telling. So in a similar way, the perception of the world that we have now, thus another very interesting theory is explained in Bhagavatam. We think that the clouds are formed because of evaporation of water. Water gets evaporated and we have clouds. And this happens because of sun. This is our understanding of cloud formation. However, in Bhagavatam or in the Vedas, the understanding given is that the clouds are produced by the sun and the water is absorbed by the sun. The sun is always burning. What is the fuel? So people give various theories that there is helium and this fusion reaction is happening. How the fusion reaction is happening in a controlled way, nobody knows. On one hand, we tell that fusion is most difficult to control, but we see on sun fusion is happening in a controlled way for millions and billions of years. If the reaction grows little stronger, Earth would be burnt in no time. If it becomes little slower, Earth would freeze. In a controlled way, the regular heat is being dissipated. How this is happening? Without reaching the sun, we are doing some speculations, but in Vedas it is explained. The sun extracts and absorbs the water from everywhere. And in this way, sun burns. And then the sun directly produces the clouds. So this we cannot comprehend. It is not comprehensible. Similarly, we understand the sun rays in a very gross way. For us, the sunlight means the visible light that we are able to see, which shines. Sun is continuously emitting light, effulgence, that is called sun ray. We are also emitting light? Yes or no? Yes, we are producing light. In dark, we can see each other. No, we are emitting light or not? Just see. This is called Lal Bhujakad philosophy. I am not able to see light, so I am telling human beings do not emit light. You ask a snake, he will be able to see us. Because we are emitting light, but that light is called infrared radiation. That is light. But we are not able to see that light. We are also producing light like sun. Sunlight is visible to us, infrared is not visible to us. But other animals, they are able to see other species simply because of infrared that they produce. So we are emitting light, but I tell, no, I don't. So for us, light means the light which I am able to see. Similarly, what is sunlight? Sunlight is only Vibgyor? No. We can see a limited portion of sunlight, electromagnetic spectrum. So the clouds, just like there are X-rays. X-rays, they pass through the medium. Are X-rays blocked by some medium? No. They cannot be stopped. Some rays are blocked, otherwise through the flesh they are able to pass and the bones are able to. In this way we see the impressions. Similarly, the AM/FM waves, are they blocked by the concrete? No, they pass through the concrete. In a similar way, a portion of the sunlight is getting blocked. That is why this extraordinary understanding is given here by Prabhupada. So for us, sunlight means only visible light, but sunlight is not visible light. So we should not think that Prabhupada belonged to the time of classical physics. Thus he is giving maybe some age-old or some ancient understanding of the Vedas. No, this is real understanding. There is a portion of sunlight which is not visible to us, and thus the clouds are actually creating artificial separation. As soon as clouds are removed, the sun rays regain their visible portion also. But the sun rays are always there, going beyond the clouds also. The visible portion is being blocked. That is why Prabhupada tells the sun rays can never be separated by the sun. The so-called separation created by cloud is artificial separation. The sun rays are always connected to sun. As soon as the cloud is removed, then immediately the sun rays regain their glow. And we feel that the sun ray has been blocked and it has started falling again. That is not fact. The sunlight, the rays, they are already there. Similarly, we are always connected to God. But artificially we are separated by the curtain of illusion that is called Maya. So that is why it is extremely important when we read the Vedic sciences or anything in the Vedas, we may feel confused. So we should not get confused by reading such Vedas, because the Vedic knowledge has been approved by people who have dedicated their life to find truth. Those people who call the whole world illusion, what we see in reality, will they fall for some illusory facts and figures? No. So this is fact. This has been approved by the people who can see past, present and future. So whatever is written in the Vedas, it is fact. We may not be able to understand. If the Vedas tell human beings they emit light, we may wonder, what light? We don't emit. No, they emit. We are not able to see. So in this way, such wonderful knowledge is given in the translation, in the purports. Just we have to be little careful, and scrutinizingly we have to study all these wonderful purports. So just like the separation of the sunlight and sun, it is artificial. Similarly, we are always connected to the Supreme Lord. But because of this cloud, this connection becomes invisible, and we feel that we are separated from the sun. Thus Kunti Maharani tells, Maya Javanika Channam Agya Dhokshajam Avyayam Na Lakshate Mudadrisha Nato Natya Dharo Yatha. So this is a curtain here. Now behind the curtain one devotee went. What he was doing? How do we know offering? He was doing something we cannot see. So probably he was doing offering. He should have done that, ideally. But we never know. So just like behind the curtain, what is happening, we never know. Similarly, there is a curtain of energy of Krishna that is called Maya Javanik Achannam. Achannam is covered. Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita also that I am covered by the curtain of illusory energy. Naham prakasha sarvasya yoga maya samavritah. I am covered by a curtain of my illusory energy, because of which we cannot see God. We cannot see what is actually happening. So how much ever we may try, and first of all, we cannot even try, Kunti Maharani tells. Maya Javanika Channam Agya Dhokshajam Avyayam. We are Agya. Agya means foolish. So first of all, we are foolish. And secondly, even though we may become very, very intelligent, still there is curtain of illusory energy. Thus it is extremely difficult. It is impossible to see the Lord. First of all, we have to become wise, and then God also has to lift the curtain. And when we become wise and the God lifts the curtain, then we are able to see Lord face to face. And then what happens when we are able to see Lord face to face? As it is explained in the prayers here, the Dwarka Vasis are praying. Prasanna Drishtya Khela Tap Shoshanam. Tap means heat and Tap means misery. Tap Shoshana means all the miseries are destroyed. How the miseries are destroyed? Jive mate sundar has shobhitam apashyamana vadanam manoharam. Vadanam means your face. When we see your smiling face, then all the miseries of my life are vanquished. So this is the solution, Prabhupada explains. This illusory energy or the curtain of Maya has to be removed, and when it is so done, the living entity can see the Lord face to face, and all his miseries are at once removed. Every one of us wants to remove the miseries of life, but we do not know how to do it. So all of us are willing to remove the miseries of life. For this we are working very hard, but we do not know how to do it. The miseries of life can be reduced only when we see Supreme Lord face to face. That is the solution. Unless we see Supreme Lord face to face, the problems of life cannot be solved. It is not possible. So all efforts of one's life should be directed towards seeing the Supreme Lord face to face, just like we are seeing each other. Similarly, we can see Radha Krishna Chandra also, but because of this curtain, we cannot see. Or if we are blind, we cannot see. So we have to cure all blindness, we have to become supremely pure, and then we have to pray to God, please lift the curtain also. So God is very much visible, but because of curtain, we cannot see. So aim of human life is to purify and then pray to God to lift the curtain, and then only we can solve the problems of life. This is the only solution. But how the curtain would be lifted? Prabhupada explains in purport of 1st Canto, 8th chapter. In our material stage, we can see neither ourselves nor the Lord for want of spiritual vision. But when we are liberated from material affection and are situated in our original spiritual platform, we can see both ourselves and the Lord face to face. Mukti means to be reinstated in one's original spiritual status after giving up material conception of life. Therefore, human life is specifically meant for qualifying ourselves for this spiritual liberty. Unfortunately, under the influence of illusory material energy, we accept this spot of life of only a few years as a permanent existence and thus become illusioned by possessing so-called country, home, land, children, wife, community, wealth, etc., which are false representations created by Maya, illusion. Under the dictation of Maya, we fight with one another to protect these false possessions. By cultivating spiritual knowledge, we can realize that we have nothing to do with all this material paraphernalia. So right now the whole world is competing and fighting. There are wars going on across the world. Big countries, people, they are fighting with each other. The most intelligent are competing with each other. For what? For acquiring country, wealth, name, fame, wife, children, land, property, etc. Because we think this part of life is all in all. There was nothing beyond this, there is nothing beyond death. But these are all false representations. Country, home, land, children, wife, community, wealth, these are false representations created by Maya. These are not real things, these are false representations. They exist for some time and then they vanquish. These are temporary forms taken by the material energy around us. The same material energy is now present in the form of this table. This table will get destroyed, will become some plant or will become some grain. It will get transformed into some human form, some animal form, and then we develop attachment, affection for these forms. These are all illusory transformations of matter. And as long as we have material affection, slightest of the affection. So Prabhupada tells Krishna is very kind and Krishna is very strict also. Why Krishna is very kind? He is very, very merciful. Krishna always gives us a chance to revive our spiritual position. Even though we may commit many mistakes, Krishna keeps on giving chances for spiritual elevation. So Krishna is very kind. He is always forgiving our mistakes. So we should not worry that I am following spiritual life, it is too tough, I am failing to follow the rules and regulations. That is okay. Krishna is very kind. He forgives, he gives more chance to us. So in that way, Krishna is very kind. But then he is very strict. Why strict? Prabhupada explains. Because unless we are completely freed of material affection, we will not be able to go back to Godhead. Krishna will give us chance, but unless we take advantage of the chance, as it is explained here, every one of us wants to remove the miseries of life, but we do not know how to do it. The solution is given here and it rests on us to assimilate it or not. So solution is given here. Now, whether we wish to assimilate, whether we want to understand this is fact or not, whether we want to follow this, it depends upon us. Everyone can become great devotee, Prabhupada explains. Completely we can become free from all the offenses simply by our determination and effort. But the choice always depends upon us. We want to become a devotee or not, advanced devotee or not, the choice is always ours. But everyone can become, everyone has got the free will. Simply by our determination and efforts, we can become. But the choice will always remain with us. So we should choose not to get carried away by these false temporary representations. So everything, all the possessions of this world are simply the transformations of the matter created by illusory energy. Chasing them, possessing them does not give us satisfaction. Rather, the miseries of the world only increase. And Krishna is very strict. He will give us chance, but unless we are completely freed, even if we have a little bit of affection for anything material, then we have to stay back. We cannot get liberated. One has to become completely free from all the affections of this world. Thus Prabhupada explains, think of nothing, do nothing, but simply focus always on Krishna, work always for Krishna. Think of nothing else. Don't get diverted by anything material. Always focus on Krishna, always think of Krishna. So we should be very, very eager to see the Supreme Lord face to face. Only when we are eager. Of course, sometimes devotees ask, should we be eager to see the Lord or not? So, because sometimes we understand that there is a teaching we should not be eager to see God, but work in a way so that God sees you. So, how do we understand? So, the devotee is actually always eager to see the Supreme Lord, but he does not demand that, Lord, please come and be present before me. So, Prabhupada explains very nicely what should be the mood of the devotee. The devotees of the Lord are always very eager to see the Supreme Lord face to face. So the devotees are actually very eager to see the Supreme Lord face to face. But when we say that we should not be eager in some places, what does it mean? It means, but they do not demand that the Lord come before them. For a pure devotee considers such a demand to be contrary to devotional service. The pure devotee does not demand that, Lord, please be present before me, please come before me and stand. That is sense gratification. Why should Lord come and stand before you? Yes, I remain very eager and I work very hard for Krishna. I follow rules and regulations so strictly that Krishna becomes visible, Krishna manifests himself. So the devotee maintains this eagerness, but he does not want to disturb the Lord. What will it benefit for the Lord to come before me? I am such a third-class devotee. Lord will not be pleased to see me. So why should I demand Lord come before me? So that is why the devotee simply wants to bother about serving the Lord very nicely. And he hopes that by my sincere service one day I may be able to draw the attention of Krishna and Krishna will manifest himself before me. So devotees do not demand that the Lord come before them. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches this lesson in his Shikshashtaka. The devotee is always eager to see the Lord face to face. But if he is broken-hearted because he cannot see the Lord, even life after life, he will never command the Lord to appear. This is a sign of pure devotion. Therefore, in this verse, we find the word ati chira ipsita artham, meaning that the devotee aspires for a long, long time to see the Lord. If the Lord by his own pleasure appears before the devotee feels extremely happy, as Dhruv Maharaj felt when he personally saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When Dhruv Maharaj saw the Lord, he had no desire to ask the Lord for any benediction. Indeed, simply by seeing the Lord, Dhruv Maharaj felt so satisfied that he did not want to ask the Lord for any benediction. Swami Kritartho Asmi Vanam Nayache. A pure devotee, whether able or unable to see the Lord, always engages in the Lord's devotional service, always hoping that at some time the Lord may be pleased to appear before him so that he can see the Lord face to face. So Lord cannot be seen by our own efforts. Sun can only be seen by sunlight. Sun cannot be seen by a torchlight. You put halogen light, torch light, you cannot see the sun. Sun can be seen only by sun's own light. Thus the Lord can be seen only by Lord's own internal energy. What is Lord's internal energy? That energy, Prabhupada explains, is manifest in the form of direct instructions received through the parampara. That is Lord's internal energy. So if you are very, very eager to follow the instructions which we receive in our parampara, very faithfully we follow those commands, follow those orders, then that is the way of seeing the Supreme Lord face to face. So we should become very eager to see the Supreme Lord. That is the only solution of all the problems of our life. And the way to practically execute this eagerness is get hold of the internal energy, take shelter of the internal energy of the Lord by very strictly following the rules and regulations which are coming down in the parampara. With this we will end, unless there are any questions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So as you mentioned that we should be always eager to see the God. For now, we can see the Lord in deity form, at least. That God is incarnated himself in deity form, so we can see. But what happens about visually impaired persons? Because they are not even able to see the deity form, and will they be able to see the Lord if they practice devotional service?
So the visually impaired persons they can hear about the Supreme Lord. So by hearing the form will be manifest. So they also can see the Supreme Lord. Rather, the most visually impaired person, he was always seeing Supreme Lord, and he was Bilva Mangal Thakur. He was a blind man. for 700 years when he was in Vrindavan. And Krishna would come, he would bring milk for him, would listen to his poetry. And then Krishna ran away after hearing his poetry. So he has composed very wonderful poetry that you can run away from my hands. But how will you run away from my heart? You cannot run away. So he's always seeing the Supreme Lord within his heart.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandvat Pranam. Prabhu, in the first line of the purport, it is written that Lord Krishna's attraction is so powerful
Yes.
that one attached to him cannot tolerate separation from him. Then why do we see that so many devotees, sometimes they come, they follow Krishna consciousness
away.
and suddenly they leave?
Because they did not feel attraction for the Supreme Lord. Once we feel attraction for the Supreme Lord, there is no chance of forgetting Krishna. Just like when a person gets addicted to drugs and other things, he cannot leave, right? One who has not tasted will leave only. So that is why the fall down happens only for the neophyte devotees. One who has really developed attraction for Supreme Lord, there is no question of forgetting or falling down.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
Prabhu, you said that to see the Lord, we should follow the rules and regulations given by the parampara.
Yes.
But on a weighing scale, if we see, so sometimes sincerity and rules and regulations, they have a competition. So like we have examples of the Goswamis, they would do deity worship, but they wouldn't follow any kind of rules and regulations. Ashpan also did anything they wouldn't do. But there are also great devotees who are very meticulously did everything. So how to understand?
Some devotees are not following any rule and regulation, and they are able to see the Supreme Lord, talk to the Supreme Lord like the Goswamis of Vrindavan. Whereas others are simply stuck in following rules and regulations, are not able to have any perception of the Supreme Lord. So how do we understand? So the Goswamis already have taken shelter of the internal energy of Krishna. So they are receiving direct orders of Krishna, how to serve Krishna. And for us who are not able to receive those direct orders, we have to follow the rules and regulations for gradual advancement. So they are already having direct communion with the Lord.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, you said we have to put constant efforts and we need to have determination to advance.
Yes.
So is there an end point for devotional service? Is point ke baad there is nothing? And do we have to put eternal efforts, or at a point it becomes normal for us? Like we are continuously putting efforts, we put in determination, or we have to stop and we are in conscious, like we are continuously in love for Krishna. So is there some
Yes.
limit?
So, first question, there is no end to devotional service. There is no limit. Devotional service is unlimited because Krishna is unlimited. Everything in the spiritual field is unlimited. We simply keep on increasing. It is told in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Radharani is also trying to increase her surrender. Who can be more surrendered than Radharani? But she is also trying to increase her surrender. So there is no limit. In spiritual world, everything is always increasing. So there is no limit to it. However, it is not that we have to put efforts, but it is spontaneous. Once we get love of God, then there is spontaneous devotional service. And just like a drunkard, he has to put effort to drink. No, he spontaneously drinks and keeps on increasing. In a similar way, the devotional service, we keep on increasing out of love. So the efforts we have to put till we become situated on love of Godhead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, so you mentioned that in order to be determined in our spiritual life, first of all, we have to be eager. So now, in order to be eager in my spiritual life, now, like it's told in the Kali Yuga, like as soon as we become
No, I did not tell that in order to become
in order to
determined,
see
we
God,
have to be
yes, in order
determined.
to see God, we need to be eager in our spiritual life.
We should be eager to see the Supreme Lord, yes.
Yes.
And that eagerness will come by determination and efforts in following the rules and regulations sincerely.
Yes, correct. Prabhu, so now I will contemplate on how can I be determined in my spiritual life. But it is also told now that in Kali Yuga, as soon as we become conscious of something that I have to do this, then our mind cheats us.
Not in Kali Yuga, always.
Yes.
That is the way.
Prabhu, so then how do I actually become determined? Because if I'll think about
So we
okay,
have
how
to
can-
struggle. Everywhere it happens like this. Once you are determined to achieve anything, then you have to face exam, competition. You may fail also in that thing. So as soon as we are determined to make spiritual advancement, Maya will test us immediately. She will put all the obstacles and we have to struggle. And God helps those who help themselves. When God sees our struggle, He will help us.
Okay, bro. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, you said that all the bodily designations, including family and society, are all material transformations and false representations of Maya. So, if someone is serving Krishna in a way, Yukta Vairagya, using all at his disposal, then is in that case also does that come under material affection? Like,
Not at all. Yukta Vairagya is real Vairagya. So one can be living in the midst of family, in the country, around wealth and property, but one should not have any affection for it. That is called a grihastha. Grihastha does not mean I am living in household life because I am very much attached. That is grihamedhi, one who is attached. Grihastha means one prefers to follow Krishna consciousness in a household life. That's it. But in a completely detached manner. As we have discussed previously, just like we work in our companies, are we attached? No. As soon as there is better opportunity, we would relocate. Without a second thought, we will resign. Isn't it? We are not, but very dexterously. We punch on time, we log out on time, we stay for more time, we work very dexterously, we behave very cordially with everyone. They will give gifts also as if they care for us. Isn't it? So both the parties behave as if there is a lot of love and mutual care. But a person works in a company in full detachment, but very expertly. In a similar way, we have to work here. One is completely detached. So detachment is important. That is called Yukta Vairagya. We are using everything for Krishna.
Understood. Prabhu, one more question. You said that we have to develop attraction for Krishna. My question is that if we are developing a taste for reading and hearing, does that also fall under the category of developing attraction for Krishna? Or
If we are developing
like a taste for hearing and reading?
anything,
That also falls
for
under...
hearing, for reading, for cooking, for cleaning the temple, for writing, for preaching, for doing anything for Krishna. If we have attraction, that is attraction for Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Like you explained, Prabhupada, when he is giving the example of sun rays and sun disk, there is a very advanced meaning and advanced understanding as compared to modern science.
Yes.
But sometimes can this happen that spiritual master is factually giving incorrect example or analogy just to pass on the spiritual understanding? Or will always there be a advanced meaning or deeper understanding?
There could be mistakes, just like there are typographical errors sometimes. And we see in lectures also, sometimes Prabhupada is supposed to speak Vaivasvat Manu, and he has spoken Swayambhuva Manu, like this. So there could be some so-called errors in the explanation of the acharyas, but then one is not supposed to see those errors. That is called Arsh Prayog. Whatever spiritual master has told, I have full faith in the understanding. I cannot tell, just like there are many contradictions even about spiritual understanding. And Prabhupada explains this acharya is telling this thing, another acharya is telling this thing, and then Prabhupada leaves it open-ended. So like this, there could be apparent contradictions, but then all these contradictions can be perfectly settled by Krishna. Because whatever comes out of the mouth of Acharya, Krishna makes sure that it comes to pass. So Krishna will change entire science to suit the words of Acharya. So in that way, there is nothing wrong in the words of Acharya. Whatever he has spoken, in our limited understanding, it appears that it is wrong. But actually, nothing is wrong what is spoken by the Acharya. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Home roof also obstructs sun rays as it cannot pass through.
Can you please repeat?
Home roof also obstructs.
Home roof. Okay. Home roof.
Also obstructs sun rays as it cannot pass through the ceiling. Then similar may be the case with clouds. How to understand this?
I have explained. Please, you can rewatch the lecture if you could not. This entire point I've explained in the lecture for 20 minutes.
What does the phrase mean? Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna.
It means one should always remember. And never forget. So one thing is remembering the form always. That is now a good question. Probably the devotee wants to ask, should I always think of Krishna? Because usually people ask this question, because then I have to work. How will be I able to remember Krishna? Does it mean engaging in service of Krishna? Is it same as remembering Krishna? So the answer is yes. Either we think of the form of Krishna, or we engage in the service of Krishna, or we think of the instructions of Krishna, or we think of the pastimes of Krishna, or we think of devotees of Krishna, paraphernalia of Krishna, or the land of Krishna. Everything is thinking of Krishna, or the instructions of Krishna. All of this is called always think of me, always thinking of Krishna. So in the initial stages, we may distinguish that here is form of Krishna, here is name of Krishna, here is this thing. But on advanced platform, as soon as we hear about Krishna, we chant about Krishna, we engage in service of Krishna, immediately there is remembrance of Krishna. So that is what we are aspiring for. We'll finish. Granthara Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki.
Subscribe to our channel, and to get the latest updates, do not forget to press the bell icon. Hare Krishna.